So the last part on team is without me. So we're on to team. I love this quote here. Most employees are motivated, energetic, committed, enthusiastic and loyal, except for the 8 hours a day they work for you. So for a lot of people, this is actually how team actually does normally play out in a business. Okay, unfortunately. So I won't go too deep in all of these, but here's 6 keys to a winning team. All right, here's just 6 key things that you got to get right, really. First one's what? You guys nice and loud. Strong leadership, all right? There's a book I read about 15 years ago when I lived in the UK called The Fish Rots from the Head. And it's essentially talking about shitty leadership, all right? So if you've got bad leadership at the top that are not being that driving force, etc., the business is not going to kick. Please, for the leaders in the room, even if you're leading team under you, for the people that work for someone else, give yourself an honest score there. If I followed you around for a month and saw what type of leadership behaviour you do or don't do, I'm always interested in that. There is a ton of work. Anyone done any John Maxwell reading? Okay, that guy's a stud. I love his stuff. 21 and a half Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Great book. John Maxwell. So, you've got some good YouTube stuff too. Annie? Strong leadership. Second one, guys, is what? Nice and loud. Common goal is after we get the vision right and the mission of what we're doing, what's the set of goalposts for you? What's the set of goalposts for your team, more importantly, for the people that do have team? I could give you a couple. I'll give you my accountants. So Angela, who you saw up there before, I was coaching her a fair few years ago now, and her business at that time in terms of annual accounting clients, people off the street or people with businesses, was about 700 annual clients, right, that came to do their tax return, etc. Basically, I said to Angela, what's the common goal? What's the team all driving for? And we did the math, we did the 5 ways, etc. And it worked out that we wanted to get it over 1,000. So we wanted to go from 700 annual clients to 1,000 clients. So this was back in 2008. It is a few years ago. And basically, we came up with the common goal. Every common goal must have a jingle. What must it have, guys? A jingle. Why do you have a jingle? It's catchy. It's memorable. Okay. So their common goal that they created was 1,009 by the end of 2009. Right. So 1,009 by the end of 2009. So we all knew where the goalposts were, and there was a time frame to it. Okay, so that was nice and short, everyone could get their head around it. So then we went to work going and actually putting that into place. Okay, I used to, as the coach sometimes, ring them up and basically to see if it filtered through to the receptionist, and they'd answer the phone to the accountancy practice, and I'd say, yeah, hi Mary, it's Bruiser. What's that common goal? And she'd go, 1,009 by the end of 2009. And then, of course, then I'd know it had filtered all the way through. And then they had some fun with that. They took everyone out. They went for a weekend away, spent some money on the team. Everyone loved it. Okay? For me, you want to get traction in a business where you've got team, put a common goal out there. Okay? What's their goalposts? Write that down. They need rules of the game. This is a huge one, you guys, is have we actually got rules of how we are going to play? I've just got back from New Zealand watching the All Blacks. Had the pleasure to go and see those guys in New Zealand Rugby House. Do you think, if you're a member of the All Blacks or any of those guys and girls that support them, that there's some pretty non-negotiable rules? Yes or no? Yeah, they're gonna have heaps of rules, right? So what are the rules? If you don't write them down, I've got heaps of copies of and examples of that. We need to have an action plan we've talked about. We need to support risk-taking, you guys. Okay? Risk-taking is so damn important. Who's here has ever worked for someone where you went and took a risk for the best interests of the business, you got it wrong, and then you got a bollocking? Who's ever had that? How'd you feel?
Unmotivated.
Yep. Would you ever do it again? It's for some people, a lot of people, that they just then go and say, well, I got bashed once when I did something right for the business, I'm not going to do it again. Okay? So supporting risk-taking, and last one, everyone, you guys? 100% involvement and inclusion. Okay, do we include everyone, or is it us and them? So give yourself a score around team. Give yourself around leadership. How well do you truly play that one in your business? It's about getting the right people on the bus. Okay? A lot of times when we go and I've got some people in the room here, when I go and coach people, because they'd done a bad job on the recruitment, bad job of hiring or doing team, when we start to put in above and below the line, do you think that raises the culture of an organisation? Yes or no? Yes. Do everyone like being called out and made to be held accountable? Yes or no? No. Okay, so sometimes getting the right people on the bus is the crucial part. So a lot of times, we do lose a few people that don't need to perform. Okay, and that's okay.